everybody. So we're going to try and stay on schedule as best we can. So if you don't mind finding your seats, we're going to get started. I promise we'll have time to visit the sponsor table as we go. To come up and lead us in that, if you don't mind standing.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you for that. So again, good morning, everybody. I am Patrick DeFalco. I have the privilege of being the chair of the Federal Executive Association of Connecticut. And I think for the second year in a row, although the sponsors might not agree with the win, sorry guys, but this is a beautiful day. It could have been a lot different, right? The weather we've been having this summer with the rain. So we are very grateful for the weather. Thanks everybody for coming today. I really appreciate it. This is our sixth Excellence in Government Awards banquet since we've kind of gotten the organization back up off the ground in 2014. So I know this is a long tradition. This ceremony has a long tradition in Connecticut, but we've kind of been able to get it back up and going here. I talked about the weather, my papers are flying. Also want to welcome everybody that's watching us on live stream for our second year in a row. We are live streaming this event for those that couldn't attend, so thank you all for being here as well. Really excited about today, as I am every year. I think I say it every year, but in my mind, this is the best day of the year. Certainly the best day of the year for our organization. We are just so grateful to have the opportunity to honor federal employees, and that's what today is all about. It is about recognizing the great work that civilian, military, and postal employees do in this country, and specifically in our state of Connecticut, each and every day. In many ways, as I said, it's a day that's just very, very special. Very, very special to us. And as federal employees, as I think I say every year, we may not always feel like the most appreciated people in the world. I know the jokes. I've lived the jokes, right? But we know, those of us who work in government know, that we are, as organizations, as individual employees, in the careers we're in because we care about public service. And I don't care what agency you're in, you care about public service, you care about serving the American public, and it's honorable. Whether or not you feel that every day or not, it is honorable. It's an honorable profession that you all do. So, given that today is September 10th, and tomorrow is a day that we are remembering what was a very tragic day in our country, September 11, 2001. I'd like to just start by having a moment of silence as we have an opportunity to remember the 3,000 or so lives that were lost on September 11th. Thank you. In thinking about September 11th and the 20th anniversary of that event, I'm very excited about our speaker today. And I will tell you a little bit more about him when I introduce him. But, we have a speaker who is talking to us today who really is an expert in the history of 9/11. So very excited about that, to hear him speak. Okay, so what's today's banquet about? So, in a nutshell, I look out and I see many of you that have been here before. I see some new faces, which is great. Those of you that are watching online, I can't see, but I'm guessing there's a lot of new faces. So let me just tell you a little bit about what this day is about. It's about honoring who are the best and the brightest in government in our state. It is an opportunity to recognize the great work that our employees do each and every day. So if you're here, if you're a nominee, or if you're watching online and you're a nominee, I want you to know it's an incredibly special thing that someone did for you. Someone nominated you for a category that we have, and that's a very special thing. Because best we can tell, nobody has the exact number, but we have over 10,000 federal employees in our state. And if you were nominated, it really says something about you and your work and the appreciation that your supervisors have for you. And whether or not you're the one who is awarded or just our finalist, I just want to let you know that it is unbelievably, it should be an unbelievably rewarding and honoring thing that you've been nominated and that you've reached this point. I like to say that every year because as someone who served as a judge, and I know I can speak on behalf of the judges, it's not easy to pick the person who gets the award. The write-ups are amazing. Supervisors that are here or supervisors that are watching, I want to let you know you do a great job. You are really fulfilling what is one of the greatest things you can do as a manager or as a supervisor, and that is recognize the good work your employees do. I don't know if your agency's like mine, but the Federal Employee Viewpoint Survey always gets a lot of attention, FEBS, right? And we're always very interested in what our employees think. And one thing that seems to always come up is the issue of morale. I've never seen a FEB survey where that issue of morale is not something that agencies are looking at. And I can tell you that a big part of morale is not the money, it's not the benefits, it's actually the recognition. I'm appreciating what it is that employees do. So if you've nominated someone for an award, I really want to hold you up. And I certainly want to hold you up if you have been the one who's been nominated, because it says so much about your work. I want to take a minute and just recognize our board and committee chairs of the Federal Executive Association. They really do an enormous amount of work. They are listed on page 10, if I wrote it down correctly, in your program. But they do so much work for this organization. They really drive it. Our board and committee chairs, when we think about what we want to do as an organization, the next question is, okay, well, what committee is going to drive that? And so if you are on the board or if you're a committee chair and you're here today, if you don't mind standing up, I just want to formally kind of recognize you. I see some people standing over there, so thank you guys. And this awards banquet is a lot of work. It's a lot of work put together, and it's done because we think it's that important. And there's really one woman who has done so much each and every year. This year, maybe even more than others, because without many of us being in the office, a lot of it fell on her personally to do. And that's to my left here, Jessica. And just does so much for this every year. So, all right. So can I say a bit about our organization? I love to have a captive audience. I always say that. Can't easily walk away, so that gives me a chance to tell you a little bit. So, back in 1961, President Kennedy just determined that there was really a need in government to have better communication, better resource sharing, just better collaboration between agencies. And so, federal executive boards were born, and they were born in the 28 largest cities in the country. And in New England, we have a federal executive board in Boston. What's great about federal executive boards is they get full-time people to actually work that. That's great. So they work hard to really connect agencies within a geographic area. Out of federal executive boards, in the outlying areas of the geographic region are federal executive associations. So that's where we come in. Every state in New England has its federal executive association. And here in Connecticut, That's us. That's what we do. Our mission is really to try to connect federal agencies and really serve federal agencies, what it is that we can do to help you to better collaborate, to better resource share, and so forth. And whether or not your agency is very active in our organization or is not, doesn't really change the fact that our mission is for your agency. It really is to bring you together with other agencies in our area. And we really try hard to do that. So our committees are really geared in that way. We have a number of different committees. I'm going to run through them really quickly. I know you're familiar with the awards committee because here you are. But in addition to that, we have very active our COOP committee, continuity of operations. We really try to provide an event. Now, COVID has really wreaked some havoc, right, in our events. But we really worked hard to bring together agencies with an opportunity to have a COOP event at least one time a year, so that we can train and learn from each other. And then we have education. We've heard from agencies that they really want to have a more local training opportunities within the state of Connecticut for their employees. They don't want to send them to regional cities or to their headquarters for that training. And so we've really tried to provide that. So over the years, we've done training in a number of different areas with the opportunity for agencies to send their employees to them. Probably we're most famous for a retirement seminar that we do every other year. This was actually going to be the year we have it, so I think we're going to table that. We have to do that for this year. To have it in person, we're going to try for next year. But we really, again, try to provide an opportunity and a training platform for agencies to have their employees attend locally. We have a federal relations committee because we believe that as agencies, it's very important for us to have a strong connection with the senators and congressmen and women that are in our state. And so we work very hard to do that, to keep a connection. And you know what? They're federal employees as well, those that work in those offices. So we really try to connect them to other agencies and certainly us to them. We have a membership committee because it's very hard to keep track of all of you. So we really try to make sure we're getting emails to the right people. And federal employees like to get new jobs, like all the time, right? We love to move around. So it's very challenging to keep accurate, up-to-date information. But we try our best. And we try to get that information to the right people at your agency so they can distribute it out. And our membership committee is really active in doing that. And then we have the name keeps growing. It used to just be our website committee. Then it was website public relations. Now it's website social media public relations. And that is a committee that is really attempting to keep our online presence so that we can distribute information in that way. So by show of hands, just remove it. How many of you know that we have a Facebook site? Okay, that's not bad. All right. We have not only Facebook, we have LinkedIn, we have Twitter, we have a number of different methods in addition to our website, FEACT.net, to try to communicate with all of you to get information that you find important out. If you haven't checked it out, if you haven't liked us, did I say it right, Gilda? Please do so. We really do want to get and keep that information, give you information that you really need and that you can really use. All right, so that's our organization in a nutshell. I really do encourage you if your agency is not as active, or if you're not getting all the information about what we have going on, please let us know. We'd be happy to make sure that we're getting it to the right people and so forth. So. All right, so I'm going to turn to you, Jess. Am I going to hand the mic over to you now? We're going to do it that way? Okay, awesome. So I hand you Jessica Durham.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm so thankful that we have nice weather today. Just want to thank you again for coming, taking some time out of your busy schedule for trying to enjoy this day with us. And particularly, I'd like to thank our sponsors because we wouldn't be able to have this event without them. So I'd like to ask them all to come up. They are going to introduce themselves
account executive for the Federal Employee Program. So first, I would really like to thank you all for allowing me to attend today's wonderful event. And I would like to, congratulate the nominees as well as the winners. Well deserved. It hasn't been easy for any of us, and you all really stepped up to the plate. So thank you for all that you do. So as just a quick commercial too, as your Blue Cross Blue Shield account executive, I look forward to providing you guys with excellent service in 2021 and beyond. As you may be aware, my primary responsibility is actually to assist with any concerns or questions regarding your health benefit plans that we offer to the Federal Employee Program. So, what are the three major questions you may have about your benefits? First is, where do I find information about my benefit plans? Who can I talk to? What if I have an issue with a claim? I know I'm aging myself, but I've actually been with Blue Cross and Blue Shield for over 19 years. 11 of them have been with FEACT. So I'm actually that person if you have any questions or concerns. So I also want to remind you of all the great things that Blue Cross has to offer to your agency at no cost. With Connecticut slowly opening up after this crazy time, I'm excited to finally, hopefully be able to get out and about. Not only for new employee orientations and pre-retirement, but wellness as well. Whether it's in person or virtual, we offer some great opportunities for you all to participate. From guided meditation to presentations on the power of thinking. So who couldn't use a little relaxation and positivity at this point in time? So if you haven't had a chance to stop by my table, please do. I have some great information to share with you, and also a really nice cooler bag. So, just a big thank you to for everything that you guys do on a daily basis. And thank you, I appreciate your time today.
Hi everybody, my name is Brenda Wilson. I'm with Feds Protection. We provide the professional liability insurance. I know a lot of you probably already have it, but if you don't, we can sign you up in 5 minutes. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for whatever you did to be here today. The liability insurance protects you when someone makes an allegation against you, even though you're doing the best that you can do, and you're doing your job in accordance with every regulation that you're aware of. Someone can still make an allegation against you. It doesn't need to be true. It doesn't need to be valid for it to be a real pain in your side. If you're a manager, supervisor, or law enforcement officer, the agency reimburses half the cost. That's for a reason. It's $150 after you get reimbursed. I promise you, when we get phone calls from people and they call too late, it changes your life when someone makes an allegation against you. I know this is a happy experience, so I don't want to dwell too much on that. But it is life-changing. Again, it's $150 a year. Here, I'm going to pass around these cards, my business cards, and there's a $5 Starbucks card. If you already got one, you can take a second one. If you don't have the insurance, please, I beg you to either visit our website, talk to me, or my cell number is on there. So if you call me 2 years from now and say, I didn't get your insurance that day I met you, that's BS, because my cell number is on there. You can call me at night, on the weekend. I know you have movie hours, some of you. So please, please, please don't be that person. Feds is not the only one who provides this coverage. There are other carriers. I'd love to tell you the difference. But what's more important to me is that you just have the insurance. So thank you again for whatever you did to be here.
Greetings everyone, my name is Crystal Vargas. I represent Central Connecticut State University School of Graduate Studies. So basically I'm here if anyone's interested in pursuing a master's or advanced certificate or an official certificate program, even a doctoral program, please come by and talk to me. Even if you're thinking about it a couple years from now, that is perfectly okay. Even if you need time to really, think of the programs, I'm here to help you throughout your whole process. So please come by and talk to me when you have a chance, especially if you're looking to get an advanced degree. Thank you, and thank you all for your service.
good morning, afternoon, I think, at this point. My name is Jeannie Singleton. I am with GEHA, or GEHA, as some people refer to us. We are Government Employees Health Association, and our sole mission is to provide dental and medical coverage to federal employees, members of the U.S. Postal Service, and retired members of the military. We do not serve commercial members at all. So we're strictly here for you. I want to say congratulations. I'm honored to be here representing GEHA, but also honored to meet all of you. Thank you for your service. Please come by and say hello. We do lots of wellness things. We run lots of retirement and pre-retirement seminars online. And hopefully I'll be able to be out in public meeting some of you in person sooner rather than later. So congratulations, good luck, enjoy today, and stay well and hopeful.
Good afternoon, and I'm very happy to be here today. My name is Richard Quintero. I'm the president of Menard, the National Association of Retired and Working Federal Employees. One of the things that we do, we protect your earned, what you've earned. And there are a number of pieces of legislation right now that I'm very hot about, and so is my organization. One, for those of you under FERS, you don't get a fair shake on the cost of living increase. You get a percentage. And there's legislation out there that we support that will make it possible for you to get CSRS and everybody else. For me, I'm a senior, and I'm very concerned. Last year, I had an opportunity to be, I can't say that word. I was kind of done in by the fact that my healthcare costs went up to 5.7%. And all I got was a cost of living of 1.3. To me, that's not fair. But there's legislation out there that we support that. Now, we have a great working relationship with all of our politicians here in Connecticut. And we are blessed here in Connecticut because they vote 100% time because I monitor all of it. No, hey guys, most Americans don't. And we also go to Washington. I used to work in Washington and I didn't understand. I went to the White House and I was amazed, like somebody from another country. But it was a great experience. And I'm happy to see you all here today. But if you stop by the desk, you don't have to be a retired to be a member of our organization. I started about 3 years before I retired. And I thought it was a great opportunity for me, and it was. And in retirement, I'm having fun with it. But I think you cannot, even if you're going to retire or thinking about retiring, think that you're going to be okay because I'm a federal employee. There are forces out there that want to reduce all of your annuities of any way they can. So we're here to help you protect that. Thank you all, and everybody, please have a great day.
Thank you again to all our sponsors. They will be here until the end of the event, so please feel free as you're eating or as we're wrapping up to go and visit them.
Excellent, thank you, and thank you all really for your support. As just said, this event would not happen without them, so really, really grateful for that. So over the years, we have had a number of keynote speakers come to this event, and we are so grateful each year for that. We really always try to have a theme, and a theme surrounding public service. And as I mentioned earlier, as we thought about, the 20th anniversary and the remembrance of those lost during 9/11, Jess and I started thinking about what if we were to have someone come out and speak about 9/11, specifically talk about it, perhaps from the public service side of it, or at least tie that into it. And so we did a Google search for experts on 9/11, and our guest speaker today came up. And it's interesting because one of our coworkers, who Jess and I work with, is her husband works at Central Connecticut State. This man works at Central Connecticut State. That's amazing. I wonder if Nancy knows him. And she said, "Do I know him? I've been talking to you about him for years." I said, "What do you mean talking? This is the guy with the house in West Hartford. He decorates for Halloween." I said, "Oh, yeah. Now I know who you're talking about." So He said, I said, but is he really an expert in 9/11? She said, oh, you have no idea. He said, not only is he an expert on, he said, you're gonna love him. Get him. I said, no, you gotta get him. You gotta contact him. So she did. So we have with us today as our guest speaker, Dr. Mchugh Warshauer. I hope I said that right. And I wanted to call your attention to page 7, which is his bio, just tell you a little bit about him. And I'll read a portion. It says, Dr. Warshauer received his BA in History from Central Connecticut State University in 1990 and completed his master's and PhD in American Studies at St. Louis University. He joined the faculty at Central Connecticut in the fall of 1997. And then I'll skip to the bottom. Dr. Warshauer is a dedicated teacher who views every class as performance art and an opportunity to engage students. He is recognized annually on the Excellence in Teaching Honor Roll at CCSU. He's also a recipient of the 2006 CCSU and Connecticut State University Faculty Research Awards. I messed that up somehow. But it was awarded in 2012 the Bruce Fraser Award in Public History by the Association for the Study of Connecticut History. The 2011 New England History Teachers Association Kidger Award for Innovative Publishing and Teaching, and in 2012 was honored by students as an honorary inductee into the Golden Key Honor Society. He serves on numerous committees and boards throughout Connecticut, and as I said, is truly an expert on the events of 9/11 and the history of 9/11. So, Dr. Warshauer, I want to introduce you, and thank you so much for coming today.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for your service. It's a phrase that has become an important part of the cultural landscape of the United States. We know where it comes from, right? This idea of thank you for our service is for those in uniform who have served in our armed forces in the aftermath of 9/11, in the war on terror. All of us here today, I think, are old enough to remember that moment almost 20 years ago tomorrow. We know where we were. We know what we were doing. We can reach back with an image or a word and feel the gut-wrenching emotion of that very time. We will never forget that moment, right? We watched our service members, men and women, go off to war, the war on terror over the last 20 years. We know that our military today makes up less than 1% of the population of the United States. There's a few who are doing an awful lot of the heavy lifting in the United States for defending this nation. But they're not the only ones who should fit within that phrase of thank you for your service. I'm not just saying that because this is your awards day, and hope some of you are hopefully getting awarded, but you know, public service is so undervalued in our society. To dedicate yourself to working for local government or state government, or in this case federal government, to work within community organizations and to try and help others, to leave more on the table than you take, is something that has been a part of our culture for an awful long time. And, you know, I've been teaching at Central Connecticut State University for, almost 25, 26 years now, which amazes me. I once had dark hair. But at least I still have hair, so I'm happy about that. No offense. So, in all those years, I started as an undergraduate at Central Connecticut State University. Had no idea what I wanted to do. Absolutely no idea. And there were a couple of professors, again, state employees, devoted to public service, who literally changed the trajectory of my life. And I can only hope that in my service to the people of Connecticut and our students that I have that opportunity to do the same thing. And I know, I just know, I don't know all of you, but
I know that many of you feel exactly the same way about your service within your organization, that you are there to guide people through things, to try and help them. And honestly, the years in the aftermath of 9/11 have been difficult for the United States. Difficult for those who serve, both within the military and within our state and local and federal governments. It's been a distinct challenge. Since that moment, we have felt like we are, what I've often said to my students, that we have been living in the shadows of towers that no longer exist. And to continue the devotion to trying to make a difference in this nation matters. And, I have had a very, very unique perspective when it comes to 9/11. And many people can say that. I feel like my perspective is a little bit different, only in that for the last 20 years, I have been surrounded by 18 to 23-year-olds. I keep getting older. They all stay the same age. And as a result of that, I was in a classroom with college students and teaching, and somebody walked by the door and said, hey, a plane just flew into the World Trade Center. And I don't know why, but at that moment I looked at the class and said, let's go. Let's go downstairs, let's watch it on the big screen TV in one of the rooms. And we all went down and watched, and we all sat there, and we watched live as that second plane flew into the south side of the South Tower. And it's what I've written about this, and I always refer to it as a collective gasp, because every single person who watched that moment all had the same reaction. Everyone went, oh. And as they breathed out, they didn't even vocalize it, but what they thought was fear, terrorism, war. And that has stayed with these generations. I have had this opportunity, as I said, this unique opportunity to see students who have, and watch how they reacted to this over the years. We all remember where we were that day, right? The students who are coming into my classroom, they have no memory. I've been teaching a class called 9/11 Generation for the last 7 years. For the first 4 years of that class, I always started with, what do you remember about 9/11? And I always had wonderful interaction. And the students, and I'll tell you, what I believe is one of the most shared generational experiences in the history of the world is in about a 3-hour period of students getting picked up by their parents. That's the most common memory. They were at school and their parents came rushing into the classrooms. Didn't even say anything. Just looked frenzied, grabbed their kid by the hand and pulled them out of school. Right? That is one of the most, I would argue, one of, if not the most shared cultural experience in such a tight window of time. There were 2 billion people in the world who watched that moment live. It is the most witnessed event in human history. And how has it played out? Well, for these students who I teach, I started out by always asking them, what do you remember? I had to change that 2 years ago because they didn't remember anything. And now they come into my classroom and I ask them and they say, I ask them, what do you know? And then they tell me about what they think they know about the event. But, it's still such recent history. It's only starting to make its way into the textbooks. There are very few classes that are offered that teach it. The question is, how do you go about teaching it, right? So my course is called 9/11 Generation, and what I'm after is trying to define what are the things that make up this generation that was 8 and 10 and 12 and 15 years old when those towers came down, when they didn't know what the outside world was like. They had no idea. Maybe they're just starting their middle school and they're just starting to learn about, in a social studies class, about world affairs and the interaction between nations, and this happens. And there's a writer who wrote about this. She wrote what it was like to be 10 years old on 9/11. Her name is Emma Lord. She wrote an incredible essay that the first time I read it, I was so moved by it. And my students always are when they read it. And she said, 9/11 didn't change the world for me and my friends. We didn't know what the world was like before it. 9/11 was our world. And what this generation has grown up with, even those who don't have the memory of it, they've still grown up in the aftermath of it, right? And probably the word that most defines this generation is chaos. And they have a lack of confidence in the system. They have a lack of confidence in what our society, what our government can do to solve these tremendous problems that our nation faces. And we get into deep conversations about this stuff, and the kids express themselves, and they express their frustration. And there was a long period of time when the frustration was the thing that was biggest. That one student not long ago said to me, he's like, we just feel like we have this burden, but we can't shake this burden. But this past semester, just a week or so ago, I started my 9/11 Gen class. I'm always excited for all my courses. I love interacting with students, especially after the COVID year. Online learning is it's for the birds. But I asked the students again, how would you go about defining your generation? And for the first time in 7 years of teaching this course, the students started with words that were all positive ideas, that we're resilient, that we care about other people, that we want to make a difference. And I kid you not, it was the first time in 7 years of teaching this course, I teach every single semester, that the kids started off with very positive ideas. And it struck me. And I even stopped and looked at all of them and said, you guys, I need you to understand something. This is a big shift. And I tell you that only so that when you're doing your job and you are engaged in that service, that you can still make that difference, right? We can't, and it's cliche, don't give up hope. Right? You gotta keep hope. Well, it's cliche, but it's true. And I tell it to my students all the time. And I also teach, American political history. I'm teaching it this semester, and we're talking about the foundations of our government, about the nature of our Declaration of Independence, and I'm trying to express to them what a fundamentally profound document this is, and why it's such a profound document, and why it still resonates with people around the world. We talk about the makeup of our Constitution, and the idea, and this is one of the core ideas of this course, is that we are involved in a great experiment in representative government. And we forget that sometimes. We get in this motion where we're just going through the motions, the government is what it is, it never changes, it's bureaucracy, those government workers, you know what I'm talking about. But this is an experiment. We're still in the experiment. We still have a lot to learn. We need to learn from our past. We should be constantly learning and reevaluating our system and wondering what is it that we can do to contribute that will make it more efficient, make it better. And so, as we enter this time of the 20th anniversary and this remarkable partisanship that grips our nation, we can't forget that idea that it's an experiment and that we're all contributing to that experiment and that we have to have that hope, that we can't give up. We need to think about 9/11. We need to think about that service that so many people have provided to our nation. Certainly those in the military. One of my nephews did 2 tours in Afghanistan and was a Purple Heart recipient. I've had many students over the years who have served in the military. I'm incredibly fortunate to have had all of them come home. Some of them scarred by their experiences overseas. But they still served, and that is a remarkable thing. And so, as local or state or federal employees, we still serve. even when it's difficult, even when people don't necessarily appreciate what it is their government does for them, and doesn't necessarily recognize how much we put into what it is we do. So, today is your annual, awards, and that's wonderful, and it's always great to get an award. I do have to disagree with Patrick. He said the award is the most important thing. I would say that it is the money. Okay? So, keep your award, give us checks. Right? But like I was saying, this idea of service, it matters. It really matters. So, enjoy the day, enjoy this day, enjoy a lunch, commiserate with your comrades here under the pavilion about, how hard it is, what we do, and what the challenges are. But you know what? Have a nice weekend, and then on Monday, come back and get back to it, do what you do, and help people. Try to eat more on the table than you take. That's all we can do. Thank you so much.
Nope, don't run away. You can make the jokes about me and then run off. We have one more plaque for you to add to your wall of collection. In recognition of keynote address, Dr. Matthew Warshauer, Central Connecticut State, September 20.
Is the IRS going to dock me?
Possible. Okay. All right. So at this point, we are going to break for lunch. So you'll see on those tables in the back, Panera has already delivered. So they are clearly labeled. There, I can see them right here. They're clearly labeled on the table. So hopefully you remember what you ordered. And they are labeled there, and the drinks are on the table next to it. We will reconvene in about 35, 40 minutes.
you've got here, you know, and it's not. That one goes in now. Somebody was talking about well, my I know you don't want to do this. I've got 17 years and they're on the cusp of, I don't have enough employees to have a job.
It's like you have
That's And they really didn't have enough. I know.
And
I know.
the way they taught me, like, this is how to taught me. I'm teaching the track thing, so it's kind of like for doing things, sharing why you're doing it, instead of just, I need to do it. Anybody can do that, but like, if you put your teacher and remember what it was, it's kind of down, you're you want to see where I was at? Before he helped me part called shopping. I was like, I did that for 6 years. Like, I would get these crazy things, you know, some papers on it, and writing consultations, I'm doing everything else. I know my numbers, there's something it's just like,
Okay, everybody, we are going to get back to it. So if you don't mind finding your seats, I think just about everybody's done. So good. You finished off that cookie, the chips. You're good to go. All right. Okay, so at this time we are going to go ahead and make the presentations for each of the categories, and we have a lot of different people that are going to be coming up to do that. So I would just remind you, this is like the Academy Awards. Nobody knows. I don't know. I know Jessica knows. I don't know anybody else knows. Well, maybe the judges, right? They're on page 24, by the way. I think I forgot to mention that in my answer. Thank you to our judges. Anyway, I'm going to introduce our first speaker, and this is Christopher Henry to my right. He works for the U.S. Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. I got it on, Chris, and I turned it over to you.
Well, thank you, Patrick, and thank you all for coming today. As Patrick said, I work for US DOT, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, and you see US DOT on a truck or bus, our agency regulates that company for safety purposes. So, very exciting every year to have this. I know that when I came to Connecticut in federal service several years ago, and Patrick restarted the Federal Executive Association, which had been dormant for many years. I went to the first meeting and I thought this was a wonderful opportunity for federal agencies to get together and recognize their employees, because as you know, in Washington they don't always recognize what we do out here in the field. So, and I especially want to recognize Jess for everything that she does here today. I don't think you realize the amount of work she's done to put this all together. We help her, but she's been putting in 80-hour work weeks for about 3 straight weeks, right, Jess? Okay. So let's give her a round of applause. And I want to start off with our first award for the day, and it's for Distinguished Federal Executive. And I'm going to give you the description. The Distinguished Federal Executive Award will be presented to a GS-14 and above level manager or a military command staff that have demonstrated a strong commitment to the principles of public service and devotion to duty. The individual should guide the organization to superior achievement of the agency's mission and goals and the administration's initiatives. Civilian, military, postal, and political appointees at the GS-14 level or above with distinguished careers are eligible. And our 2 nominees this year are Kevin Bartol from the Defense Contract Management Agency. And we have Heather Mchugh from the U.S. Department of State Passport Agency. Congratulations to both of you for being nominees. And our awardee for this year is Miss Heather Mchugh. Write-up is Ms. Mchugh as Director of the Connecticut Passport Agency, U.S. Department of State. In Stanford has demonstrated leadership and affinity for those she leads. Her priorities are the people, the workload, and their mission. Her leadership creates a positive workplace culture which fosters a necessary production. Ms. Mchugh makes the CT Passport Agency a great place to work. Congratulations. So our next category is for the Distinguished Federal Manager. And this award recognizes a manager whose vision and leadership skills have produced major results. A federal manager directs the work of an organization, is accountable for the success of line or staff programs, monitors, evaluates, and adjusts program activities, and performs supervisory and program management duties. This category is appropriate for managers who oversee 2 or more subordinate supervisors. And this year's nominees are Michelle Hillary, U.S. DOT Federal Highway Administration. Gerald Mirabal, Social Security Administration, Norwich. And Rebecca Sieber, Department of Veterans Affairs. Congratulations to all of you for being nominated. And this year's awardee is Gerald Mirabal, Social Security Administration. Gerald has been an exemplary manager for over the past 18 months. He's the only member of management in his office, and on March 20th, 2020, he directed all his employees to telework from home during the height of COVID. He single-handedly provided all on-site services to meet the needs of the most vulnerable populations in our communities, including the disabled, elderly, homeless, and impoverished. He not only completed all of his on-site services for the Norwich Social Security Office, but he did so an excellent job of keeping his staff engaged while they were teleworking. He provided employees the resources and the support they needed to be successful in their positions and to provide good customer service by telephone and online services. It is through Gerald's hard work and commitment to the public and his staff at the Norwich office is one of the reasons why they've been so successful in providing services and protecting the integrity of the Social Security programs during COVID-19. Congratulations. Up next, we have Miss Lisa Perone from the Congressman's office. I don't remember the Congressman's name. What's his name? Congressman Larson. All right. First faux pas.
I just wanted to say hello to everyone out there in internet land. I'm thrilled to be here. I've been part of this association for several years, and these awards never fall short of amazing for me to read about and be part of. So, in the category of Distinguished Federal Supervisor, the Distinguished Federal Supervisor Award recognizes a supervisor whose vision and leadership skills have produced major results for the organization. The award will be presented to a first or second level supervisor, regardless of grade, who performs supervisory work that requires accomplishment of work through combined technical and administrative direction of others. The nominee is Burke Doria with the Transportation Security Administration, and she is the awardee Transportation Security Inspector Bert Doria has achieved the highest performance in conducting her duties. She has been instrumental in assuring that the airport remains compliant with TSA regulations and has done a wonderful job fostering a working relationship with the airport security managers. Bert's service and her ability to liaison with law enforcement has been most beneficial to TSA Connecticut's outreach program. Her on-scene coordination and participation in large-scale security deployments has helped TSA maintain a partnership with the law enforcement communities. Congratulations. Up next is the Professional Employee of the Year, Administrative. And let's face it, administrative is code word for goalie, backstop, got all the details covered, got your back. The Administrative Professional Employee of the Year Award recognizes individuals employed in professional occupations with an administrative component. This includes administrative officers, contract specialists, human resource specialists, budget analysts, EEO specialists, information technology specialists, grant management specialists, claim representatives, public affairs specialists, and other administrative specialties. The nominees are Richard Bianco, Defense Contract Management Agency, East Hartford, Connecticut. Nominee Shane Smith, Department of Veterans Affairs. Eric Wilhelmsen, Transportation Security. And this year's awardee for Professional Employee of the Year Administrative is Shane Smith, Department of Veterans Affairs. Rating Veterans Service Representative Shane Smith serves in a very challenging and demanding position. In his role, he always has a positive attitude and willingness to serve our veteran community. His dedication to do the right thing, regardless of the time or cost upon himself, has inspired those around him to do the same, and has also strengthened the knowledge of his peers and has improved the overall atmosphere of the Hartford Regional Office during these unprecedented times. Congratulations. Our next presenter is Jennifer Hassenfuss, Student Exchange Visitors Program with ICE.
Hello, everyone. So, the nominee and awardee for the Professional Employee of the Year, Emergency Management, Public Safety, Law Enforcement, Homeland Security. The Emergency Management, Public Safety, Law Enforcement, Homeland Security Professional Employee of the Year Award recognizes individual employed in the emergency management, public security, and law enforcement positions, and whose direct actions have contributed to the success of the Homeland Security enterprise in Connecticut. This includes continuity of operation planners, uniformed public safety officers, police officers, special agents, criminal investigators, Inspector General, U.S. Marshal, Rangers, members of the military, federal law enforcement officers, in the 1801 and 1802 series, and the other law enforcement officers and first responders. Today's nominee and awardee is Robert Burgess, Connecticut National Guard. Robert Burgess, Connecticut National Guard. The 14th Civil Support Team, CST, is a Connecticut-based 22-person active duty Army and National Guard unit based out of Windsor Locks. Major Robert Burgess assumed command of the CST in 2019, and under his leadership, the CST, went from a low-performing unit to the highest in the nation. The team not only continued to conduct exercises during the pandemic restrictions, but it also assisted with the state's response to the virus. The 14th CST supports the Homeland Security Enterprise in Connecticut and has also garnered international attention for its actions and preparedness activities under Major Burgess' leadership. Professional Employee of the Year, Technical and Scientific Employee. The Technical, Scientific, or Specialty Professional Employee of the Year award recognizes an employee in a technical, scientific, or other specialty field. Professional engineers, scientists, industrial hygienists, biologists, accountants, attorneys, and those with similar backgrounds should be nominated in this category. Nominees work generally require knowledge in a field characteristically required through advanced education or training, positive education environment. This year's nominee and awardee is Captain Julian Martinez, Defense Contract Management Agency. Captain Julian Martinez is an exemplary professional whose leadership and technical prowess has positively contributed to the readiness of our nation's military. He led a 7-member multifunctional team charged with surveillance, spares, maintenance, repair, and overhaul of NP-2000 propeller systems for the C-130 and E-2 aircraft. Captain Martinez was also an integral leader in facilitating multiple negotiations among the U.S. Air Force, Navy, and major defense contractors. His poise and professionalism underscore his commitment to our nation's military and is directly in concert with DCMA's core values of integrity, service, and excellence. The next presenter is Angel Rosario, Defense Management Contract Manager.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm happy to present the Outstanding Support Employee category. The Outstanding Support Employee Award recognizes an employee in a clerical support or technical support position who demonstrates overall exceptional achievement. This category is appropriate for such positions as secretaries, purchasing agents, HR assistants, office automation assistants, budget clerks, technicians, realty clerks, biological technician, engineering technician, and similar types of positions. Today's nominee and awardee is Mr. Arturo Ornedo from the Transportation Security Association. Arturo Ornedo, from the Transportation Security Office, lends his extraordinary graphic and web design talents to TSA Connecticut's operations in many ways, from designing custom award pins and coins, internal websites, and monthly publications, to even assisting TSA headquarters with their designs. Arturo's decisions or actions have helped establish TSA as a leader in the law enforcement community in Connecticut, as well as the TSA field offices. Congratulations. The next presenter is Mr. Steve Winesbury from TSA.
All right, the next award is the Outstanding Federal Investigative Team. The Outstanding Federal Investigative Team Award recognizes a team employed in public safety or law enforcement positions engaged in operations primarily in the state of Connecticut. This includes police officers, special agents, criminal investigators, inspector generals, U.S. Marshals, Rangers, members of the military, federal regulation, compliance, and enforcement investigators, and other federal law enforcement officers in the 1801 and 1802 series. This also includes federal investigators and those special agents who perform investigations. And the winner and the awardee in a class by themselves is the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, Hartford, Connecticut Division. Vidalina DeLeon Zisk, sorry about that. Ernest Galante, Chris Henry, and Eric Jenkins. So congratulations to them. Just to give you a little background, the Hartford Division of Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration has made significant contributions to the agency's mission's critical goals and objectives by achieving excellence through a comprehensive commercial motor carrier program. While the trend in the United States for highway fatalities has risen considerably since 2015, the Connecticut Division team has helped to reverse and improve that trend between 2016 and through 2020. The team's efforts not only help save lives in Connecticut, but also help to reduce the economic impact resulting from crashes in our state. So, well done, guys. And our next presenter for today is El Montoya, from Veterans Affairs.
Service effort, individual or team. The Outstanding Customer Service Effort Award recognizes an individual or team which has demonstrated a strong commitment to improving customer service, leadership, customer satisfaction, and improved customer relations. The individual or team should have a record of outstanding achievement and results of treating all customers courteously and with respect. Customers may be internal or external to the organization. Our individual nominee and awardee is Jennifer Sloan from the Social Security Administration. Jennifer has made a significant contribution to improving customer satisfaction in the Norwich, Connecticut service area. As SSA offices remain closed due to the pandemic, Jennifer did not let this stop her from accomplishing the goals of the agency while maintaining a strong relationship with the public. She was instrumental in helping the office transition to a virtual work environment and remain successful even while workloads increased. Congratulations. All right, so for our category of team nominees, from the New London Social Security Administration in-office coverage team, Cassandra Rankin. Shonda Sok. O2. From the Connecticut Passport Agency, U.S. Department of State, Luz Figueroa. Beth Gussler. Michael Mailhot. Tom Moore. Christopher Minishi. Rhonda Murillo. David Waddell. And Marta Romeo. And last but certainly not least, from the Department of Veterans Affairs, Connecticut Healthcare System Diversity Advisory Council, Natasha Austin. Neil Beasley. Rabbi Pauline Berg. Liz Bachner. Devanette Desmond. Charlie Gupta. It's like 100 here. I'm just kidding. Lonnie Hawk. Mary Susan Hungerberg. Jessica Cobb. Darren Lay. And more Elisa Hockey. After 10, the more it's yours. Pamela Redmond. And Kristen Santiago. And the award goes to the New London Social Security Office Administration in Go-to Chandra Sock and Cassandra Rankin were a team of employees who volunteered to work on site during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. While the rest of the staff were teleworking full-time from home, these three individuals worked through the fears and hesitation of being on site. It is only through their courage and commitment to serving the public that our office in London was able to meet the needs of the most vulnerable populations, including the homeless, disabled, and elderly. Congratulations. And our next presenter is Miss Amy Jackson Grove from the Federal Highway Administration.
I am so honored to be able to be a presenter today to all these great people that have really done great contributions. As you can imagine, it was a tough year, and so this is a much smaller event than we've had in the past, but still, I think that's what makes it very special, is that the people that have been nominated were really thought of very highly by their supervisors to put, everybody had a lot of work this year. It just seemed like there was a lot of work this year. So, congratulations, everybody. I am presenting the Outstanding Creativity and Innovation, Individual or Team. The Outstanding Creativity and Innovation Award recognizes all individuals and teams who have demonstrated a high degree of initiative through creativity, innovations that have resulted in significant operational improvements and or cost savings for the organization and or the federal government. Intangible results may also be considered. And for this award, the team nominee and awardee is the Connecticut Rapid Response Team. And the people on that team are Steve Blindberry, the team Tino Colin Perez, William Santos, Thomas Gannon, William Lochner III, and they're with the Transportation Security Administration. Also on the team is Roger Miller with the Federal Aviation Administration, Lieutenant Jason Rankowitz with the New Haven Police Department, Cooper First Class Art Del Leone with the Connecticut State Police. Okay, on your way by, I need you to properly say your name.
Carlo Orlino.
Wow, he made us sound police. With the Connecticut State Police, Major Sean Corey with the Connecticut State Police. Sergeant Eric Hurley with the Connecticut State Police. Lieutenant Colonel William Dem with the Connecticut Air Guard. And Master Sergeant Jessica Roy with the Connecticut Air Guard. So in July 2020, Connecticut saw an unprecedented increase in the amount of unmanned aviation system, UAS, incidents in the proximity of commercial airports. As a result, federal, state, and local law enforcement teamed with military agency representatives to form a response team. This team conducted several exercises and tests in order to develop a system to readily respond to UAS incidents. The Connecticut UAS Rapid Response Team's actions are gaining widespread attention and changing the way agencies respond to drones and their operators on a national level. Thank you so much for the work that you do to make that safe, and congratulations on your award this year. And next, I will be presenting the Outstanding Partnership. The Outstanding Partnership Award recognizes an individual or a team employed by a non-federal entity in a civilian, military, postal, law enforcement, or first responder capacity whose actions, professionalism, and dedication further the interests and objectives of the federal government in the state of Connecticut. And the nominees this year are the Connecticut Passport Agency team out of Stamford, Connecticut, Deborah Ezekiel, Nicholas Guerrero, Keisha Mills, and the team, the Fusion Center, Connecticut Intelligence Center. And on that team is Nicholas Bozeman, John Corkery, Jeffrey Getz, Kelly Grindle, Andrzik Isaac, Christopher Jennings, Anthony Lozzi, Mark O'Mara, Daniel O'Reilly, Dave Tombach, Abby Pentini, Stephen Rick-Tacchio, Alvin Schwartz, Carl Spenberg, John Wardrop, and Ashley Wooden. And the awardee is the Fusion Center. Has diligently provided real-time intelligence to all federal, state, and local law enforcement entities in the state of Connecticut. The purpose of the Connecticut Intelligence Center is to collect, evaluate, analyze, and disseminate information and intelligence regarding criminal and terrorist activity relevant to Connecticut to ensure the rights and privacy of citizens. Due to their hard work and dedication, the CTIC has become an essential security partner for the first response agencies in the state of Connecticut. Thank you so much for your service. And the next presenter will be Gilda Augusto from Social Security Administration. Well, hello everyone. Good afternoon.
Okay, so it is my honor to present the next award. The next award is for Outstanding Community Service. The Outstanding Community Service Award recognizes an individual or a team who has gone above and beyond the call of duty to contribute to the community. The individual has enhanced the image of the federal government and federal employees and given service to the community or public through non-job related activities. Nominees should devote significant personal time and efforts of community activity, welfare organizations, or other non-partisan groups on an ongoing basis for at least 1 year. So for the individual nomination and awardee is Paula Williams. So Paula Williams exemplifies community service. When many civic organizations shut down operations during the pandemic, Paula joined the others to create a group to serve hot meals on Saturdays to the homeless on the New Haven Green. With her support, the group solicits donations from local businesses and expands to offer COVID-19 testing, books, job referrals, and clothing. They provide a kind word, a respectful interaction, a familiar face for those individuals that are most vulnerable during this unprecedented time. Congratulations, Paula. The next award in this category is for a team nominee. And the nominee and the awardee is the Amtrak Police Department, New England Division. The team are Robert Hansen, Tracy McCain, Mark Rosa, Greg Zudis, Scott Amaral, Mark Bartek, Kyle Beavis, Michael Gerard, Michael Guarino, James Hanna, and Fabio Sosa. Congratulations.
We're all working there, by the way.
All right, so the next presenter is Heather Mchugh.
I feel safer too. The award that I'm going to be presenting is the Unsung Hero Award. The Unsung Hero Award recognizes a federal employee of any level who has gone beyond the call of duty and sustains a positive image and environment in their workplace. This individual should have made significant contributions to the activity and may or may not have been formally recognized or rewarded for their efforts. Individuals typically work behind the scenes. This is an important one. For the individual award, the nominees are Sarah Calvary from the U.S. Department of Justice, Elizabeth Condon from the Transportation Department, and Eric Wolf from the Department of Veterans Affairs. I like the envelope part, so I'm going to vote that.
Matt.
Matt. The winner of this award is Sarah Calgary from the U.S. Department of Justice. Sarah is a senior inspector with the United States Marshal Service, and she's responsible for working with multi-agency teams to coordinate the prosecution of various individuals and the seizure of their illegal assets. Her efforts have led to the recovery of several hundred
During the COVID-19 pandemic, she demonstrated her commitment to the public by working tirelessly to help those members of the federal workforce, their families, and the public to get vaccine appointments. Congratulations. In the team category for this award, we have the U.S. Department of Transportation Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration out of Hartford. And the nominees include Edward Bertmer, Catherine Brooks, Ernest Galante, Chris Henry, and Eric Jenkins. And this group is also the awardee. While almost all of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration and US DOT employees were in max telework status during the pandemic, the Connecticut Division team willingly participated in events such as the distribution of masks for truckers, an office move, and a pilot program to formulate the national standard for roadside inspections. The unselfish and brave actions of this team during unprecedented times truly shows the dedication of this entire team in their Connecticut division and their willingness to serve the public. Thank you. And our next presenter is going to be Patrick. I'm going to throw it back to you.
Thank you.
We're
Back.
going to do the thing.
Okay. Do the thing. Okay. Excellent. Love that. So the other thing that we like to do on this day, in addition to recognizing federal employees and their great work, is giving scholarships, because we want to recognize the hard work of the children of federal employees in the state of Connecticut as well. So like every year we've done this, we receive some excellent applications, essays for this, and we were able to award two $500 scholarships this year. The first is to, and this is a tricky name, Dea El Azari from Housing and Urban Development. I don't believe that, yes, thank you. Dea was not able to be here today. And the other is to Charles Spellman from the Defense Contract Management Agency. So congratulations, Charles. I have a big check to give you. That one I won't take at the bank. Okay, so last but not least, if you look on your award, in your awards booklet, you will see each year we give out what we call an FEACT board award, a chair award, I should say. And that is given to an individual in our organization who has really gone above and beyond to really make our organization grow that year, to really make our organization what it is. And it's a pleasure, honestly, every year to have the opportunity to give out this award. And I ask you to look in your book because you'll see some of our past winners, but I'm really grateful this year to be able to award our chair award to a woman who has really done a lot for our organization to bridge the gap between federal agencies and our congressional staffs in the state, congressional and senatorial staffs in the state. And as I mentioned earlier, that is so important. She provides us access to be able to understand some of the inner workings of what's happening and maybe how we can be effective as advocates for all of you. And not only does she do that on her somewhat official capacity, but honestly has been a great resource for being able to connect us with the other staffs in the state of Connecticut for the senators and congressmen and women. So, Lisa Perrone. wraps it up. Another year. Thank you everyone so much for coming today. Really appreciate it. As I opened up with, we got a beautiful day, and I really hope that all of you that are here today, whether you were nominated, whether you got that award or not, really understand how special it is to have that nomination and appreciate that you are appreciated. So thanks everybody. Have a safe ride home.